Hi there, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am on a roll. This is the second video in a long time, but I'm hoping that this momentum that I'm feeling, experiencing at the moment will carry me through the rest of the year. So, yeah, as you can tell from the title, I'm reviewing this book. It's called An American Marriage. It was a book currently visiting my brother, and he recommended this book. He was raving about it. So apparently, Obama also likes the book. He writes at the back, this is a moving portrayal of the effects of a wrongful conviction on a young African American couple. So, yeah, let's get into this. I really enjoyed the book and I tried reading it for what it is really. The reason I'm saying that is because before this, I read Freshwater. I have a review of that, by the way, so go check it out. I read Freshwater, and Freshwater is very dense with imagery and metaphor and figures of speech and whatnot. And this book is really not that. But I think it's still a very good read. I recommend it if you are in the mood for a story that is complex and has complex themes, but is an easy read. So, yeah. So the story has three main characters. We have the first two are Celestial and Roy Jr., who we are introduced to shortly after they've just been married. I think they've been married for a year and a half when we are introduced to them. Roy Jr. is from Elu, I think it's pronounced, in Louisiana. He's from humble beginnings, but he managed to make something of himself. He works as a young executive and is now based in Atlanta. They are living and working out of Atlanta, this couple. So we have Celestial, who is from Atlanta, who had middle class upbringing, but her dad got wealthy. So she is from a wealthy family, and it is a point of tension between her and Roy because Roy feels slightly insecure by the fact that she comes from a wealthy family. So, and she is an artist. I mean, they're an interesting couple, lovable couple. They actually have a cute meet, in the rom coms. That's what they say, a cute meet story. And of course, the relationship is not without challenges, but they look like they are doing well and they seem to be in love and they want to start a family. And yeah, they're a cool couple. So the third character is Andre. Third main character is Andre. Andre is Celestial's best friend. They actually, before Celestial and her family moved out from her childhood home, she was neighbors with Andre. In fact, Roy and Celestial's first home is her childhood home. So Andre, her birth, Andre, her best friend, lives next door to them. They're really close. So, so not long into the book, something tragic happens. Celestial and Roy are visiting Roy's family in Elu, and they're staying at a motel. And Roy is accused of raping a woman who was also staying at the same motel. In fact, he is convicted and given 12 years in jail, even though Celestial was with him the entire time. So we know Roy didn't do this thing he was accused of, but he goes to jail nonetheless. And unfortunately, Celestial's testimony is not enough for him not to be convicted. So from there on, the story is about how this um, couple navigates a husband who's wrongfully convicted of a crime that he didn't commit. So the story then goes into the book, then becomes this letter exchange between Roy and Celestial. For the first few letters, I would say it's great. Um, you get to know Roy, and you get to know Celestial. I think the author does a great job of giving the characters like very distinct voices via the letter writing. But I'll be honest, after a while, I was like, maybe it needs to stop. But maybe that's just me. Sometimes I get impatient, but for the first few letters, I really did enjoy it. So, as the couple is exchanging letters, you can clearly tell that, the relationship is crumbling, unfortunately. And later on, we find out that, Celestial and Andre, remember the next door neighbor, they end up, what was that? They end up being together. In fact, after 5 years, when remember Roy was wrongly convicted, they have a lawyer working on this case the entire time, and it's turned around or thrown out. What's the actual term? Anyway, the point is Roy eventually gets released, but he gets released at the very at the moment where Celestial and Andre are, they've decided to get engaged. So you can imagine the drama that ensues after that. I would say the great thing about this book is the what I'd like to call the oh no she didn't. Oh no he didn't. Oh no they didn't. You know those moments where you just like flabbergasted and dumbfounded by what just happened. There are a lot of those moments, which keeps the book quite, um, it made me feel quite engaged with the book because it wasn't predictable. I didn't know what was coming. Um, yeah, so those were very interesting. In fact, I was looking forward to like the next scandalous thing. And not all of the moments were scandalous. It was just like so unexpected. So that's really good. Another great thing about this book is the fact that you know what the author does a really great job of I mean, she writes quite simply, but she does a great job of capturing the southern sensibilities of the characters, especially the older characters. I don't know, there's just something endearing about southern black people for me. Um, Maybe it's because I'm not American, so I don't know. I just found those characters quite interesting in the way they use language and how they express themselves. So she does a great job of that. And I'm assuming. I think people from Louisiana and Atlanta sound very different, right? Even though they from the South. Somebody educate me on this. Um, but it was very evident to me that Celestial did not come from the same upbringing as Roy. She captures that really well. So it's quite simply written, but really enjoyable, easy to get into, not predictable at all. Thank God for that. I think the thing that makes this book stand out for me is the plot and the story itself. I think if the plot was too simple, then I'd be like, not feeling it. But because the plot has complexities and turns that are just unexpected, makes it really worth the read. So, as you can tell from what I've described so far, the book touches on themes like race and class, obviously, love and marriage, relationships. Also touches a bit on parenthood because it does go in depth into, the main characters and the type of relationships they have with their parents, but also goes into Roy's and Celestial's aspiration to start a family, what their thoughts, what their individual thoughts are on that. I mean, they don't agree on everything, but it's interesting to see this couple navigate through whether they want to be parents, when do they want to be parents, what would they look like, what would that look like. So that was interesting. Okay, friends, so that was the review. Again, this is on the short side too. I don't know. I feel like have I changed? Am I no longer doing long reviews? We'll see about that. But for now, I think that's that. I really enjoyed this read. In fact, I want to explore and find the author and find out like what other things she's written and possibly read her other works. Yeah. Wow, that was a really long-winded way of saying that. But I want to read the author's other works. That's it. Anyway, so you know the dealio. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal. At least for the end of the year, if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, that would be really cool. Like this video if you liked it. Let me know what you thought of this review. Did you enjoy it? Have you read the book? What did you think of it? Let's have a discussion, right? This is why you're here. This is why I'm here, so we can do this. Anyway, before I go on and on, I am gonna bid you adieu. Bye, guys. Take care.